Welcome back. And this is Why Do I Need STEM for My Classroom? And Zachem Minyats, Why Change? And I like to think, I'm talking to great teachers. I'm talking to some folks who really know what they're doing. But I also know you're looking for something better. That's what good teachers do. So hopefully I've got some ideas here that can talk about why. And let me tell you about my journey. Okay. And so, I remember when I was starting out, they brought in all the curriculum, they brought in all that, and I hope, boy, man, this is the answer. Okay. Unfortunately, STEM doesn't come in a box. STEM is much richer and deeper than that, just like good teaching. Okay. And we learned on the job. And so, getting to the core of why. Why do my students need to learn that? And I go back to my first year of teaching in Yakutat, Alaska. Yes, this is me, young man, 35 years ago. In the little coastal town. That was actually my house there. I used to wake up in the morning, sip a cup of coffee, and watch orcas chasing seals out in Yakutat Bay. Unbelievable first year of teaching. 110 Tlingit Indians, this one guy with blonde hair living in, it was wonderful. Learned a ton. Taught chemistry, biology, physics. I was the science department. Okay. And what I learned was, I can do this. I can open the textbook, I can do labs, I can do these things, and I can test on the end for understanding. I can assign homework assignment, worksheets, those kind of things. There's always this nagging feeling going back to that question of why. Because it was really hard to justify why this was useful to kids who are going to grow up to be fishermen. Yeah, I could make it relevant, but the facts? Were the facts really what they needed? And that was really the focus of my teaching. Okay. And it all came together for me in a story I'll share with you that took place, probably 24 years ago, 1996. I had always wanted to learn to fly. It's just something that has always been part of. You ask me what's the superpower, if you could give me one, I'd learn to fly. And I did. I went to a flying club. I was working on my master's degree at Ithaca College in New York. And this is my teacher, best teacher I've ever had, David St. George. And if you've ever done flight lessons, you do get to fly pretty quickly. You've got a lot of book work to do, a lot of memorization, a lot of facts, but the pilot always sits right beside you, and you're doing it, and you're figuring it out. And I thought I was good. I thought I had it figured out, and I was ready for solo. And I remember turning to David and saying, "Hey, it's happening, right?" He said, "No, you're not quite there yet." 1 week turned to 2, turned to 3. I honestly started thinking he was milking me for money, because I paid him to sit beside me. It's like, I could go do all this by myself. I'm ready. And finally, one day, it was about 4 weeks in, Dave was like, "Okay, you're ready for solo." My mission, fly away from the airport, go up to about 5,000 feet by myself, do 1 or 2 maneuvers, return to the airport. Simple. Okay, so I go up, I'm up in the air. This is my view. It's called a stall. You raise the nose of the airplane, you pull back on the stick, you reach the point where the wing has no lift, the nose drops, you drop 100 feet or so in midair, your stomach goes up into your throat, and you recover. Just give it throttle and you recover. Good practice so that you don't do that on landing. Stalling on landing is really bad. Okay, so I go and do my first maneuver. Nose up, pull it, drop, give it full throttle. My engine dies. I'm at 5,000 feet. I go to start it, nothing. There was power, but it would not start. For some reason, my engine wasn't getting fuel. I declare an emergency. I'm watching them put ambulances and things coming to the runway because I can see it. Talking on the radio. David's out there with another trainee. And he's like, "I think you can glide back to the airport. Just use your training." And so, kicks in, drop the nose, get it glide path. All the things that he trained were the skills were there. And I landed honestly without incident. Okay. And how did I land? Why did I call him such a great teacher? Because he worried about the skills. He worried that make sure I could do it. He held me accountable. And I was able to put my plane back on the runway. And it raises this question. Это не то, что вы знаете, это то, что вы можете сделать с тем, что вы знаете. Which I'll translate for you. It's not what you know, but what you can do with what you know. And it turns out the reason I almost died, a little bug, Jouk, a beetle, had crawled into my carburetor and blocked the fuel intake. Okay, there was nothing I'd done wrong. I figured I'd made some stupid error. Now a bug nearly killed me. In fact, that's my call sign to today. You can call me Bug because I consider us friends now. Okay. And so that's one of the core ideas. That's why this is so important, that it's not just core science ideas, it's not just the facts, but it's giving skills and understandings. Because you may not save a student's life, but you'll certainly give them a ton of skills and usefulness that they'll be able to use throughout their life. Okay, we're going to have 3 short videos like this on why. This is the end of the first. I hope you want to join me for the second. Thanks.